Thank you to Yisrael Katz, fighter for Jerusalem. Thanks to Yechiel Leiter from One Jerusalem organization, and all those who came here today in order to safeguard Jerusalem. Zion, are you not going to ask for the well-being of your prisoners? We are asking today about the well-being of the 3 kidnapped soldiers and Ron Arad. These are the prisoners who must be released. Zion, are you not going to ask for the well-being of your prisoners? It was written by Rabbi Yehuda Halevi in Spain, medieval Spain. But today, free citizens in Israel are those who are supposed to ask for the well-being of Zion, because the government in Israel is of her own will giving away big parts of Jerusalem to our enemies. This never happened to us. There were many tragic chapters in our history when Jerusalem was taken away from us. But it never happened that Jews volunteered to give parts of the Jerusalem away. That never happened. I'm not only talking about the government's intention to give away neighborhoods in East Jerusalem, but also about closing their eyes to the security dangers which will emanate from such a move. We've learned that when the IDF leaves, the Hamas comes in. Giving away parts of East Jerusalem will mean the Hamas firing in West Jerusalem. We see what's happening today in Sderot. Must understand something simple. East Jerusalem protects West Jerusalem, and it must be kept in our hands. Speakers of the government are trying to say, did we pray to these neighborhoods? The truth is that we have prayed to return to the old city and to the Temple Mount and to the Western Wall and the holy places. We've prayed for all these places. In these places, our Jewish identity was formed. But the government is willing to give up also these places. They are willing to give up both security and heritage. And we must ask a question. Who are they planning on giving these places away to? Who are they going to give Temple Mount and the Old City to? To neighbors who are seeking peace? You know the answer. They want to give these places to our worst enemies. To those who recently murdered 1,500 Israelis. Those who are firing rockets. Those who are declaring they want to destroy us. They talk about the Holy Basin, trying to use this word to make it sound better. They want to give it to international custody. And we can just look at the international guarantees we got after the Second Lebanon War. We can see how the Hezbollah returns into power there, and the Hamas will come into power here wherever we live. I ask myself, how can this be explained? This is really unique, that a nation gives up its own capital to its worst enemies. The first explanation is that this government is politically blind. They are the ones that brought the withdrawal, the hasty withdrawal in the north, and the disengagement in the south. These steps created bases of radical Islam on our doorsteps. They haven't learned any lesson, and now they want to continue folding away. Want Hamas into Jerusalem and the hills overlooking Jerusalem. But this does not explain everything. There is another explanation. This blindness is connected, related to another element. And this is a disengagement from morals, from values, from our heritage. The Minister of Education is inserting into the curriculum teachings of the Nakba, that whole set of lies which is trying to rewrite history and which goes against Israel's right to exist. This also needs explanation. All these lies which were set against us were always precursors to physical attacks against the Jewish people. Always the propaganda saying that Jews poisoned wells came as a precursor to the pogroms. And this is part of the same deterioration. And the first thing we're going to do is when we go into power, we're going to replace the Nakba with teachings about Zionism and about protecting Jerusalem. Still, it is not surprising that if this government is willing to teach the children of Israel the lies of the Palestinians, they will also be willing to give away its holy places. I think this is a temporary weakness, yet very dangerous. Until now, the links in our history, in the chain of history, were very strong. And I ask, for what have people been praying for thousands of years, saying L'Shana Abba Yerushalayim, next year in Jerusalem? They meant the Western Wall. They meant Temple Mount. I think in the shallow viewpoint of some sectors, some parts in society, I think symbols mean nothing. They have no importance. There's not a chance that when Romans wanted to destroy Israel completely and to make that an irreversible move, they took soldiers, they put pictures of soldiers in the tightest gate taking the menorah away from Jerusalem. And there's not a chance And when Herzl wanted to find a symbol of the movement of the Jews coming back to their land, to their Judaism, he used the word Zion, Zionism, a return to Zion. Government officials want to include Zion, Mount Zion, in the concessions. Ask Nathan Sharansky, why were they called prisoners of Zion? Ask soldiers, why were they risking their lives in the streets of Jerusalem? Ask, what is the holiday which we're celebrating today, if not returning of the Temple Mount back to the people of Israel? The people of Israel have not spilled seas of blood and tears, has not sacrificed its best, and has not returned from all four corners of the land in order that the government will give up Jerusalem. We will not let this happen. Temple Mount is in our hands. Temple Mount must remain in our hands. The people of Israel have a choice. I ask them to make the right choice, to maintain our security in our city, for our heritage, for the future of our children, and for the generations that will come after us. Happy Hanukkah.